Hi guys, it is the middle of December. We're a week away from winter and just over a week away from Christmas. I'm standing in the backyard in a light jacket. It's 55 degrees out, the sun is out, there's a slight breeze, and this is perfect weather to be working in the backyard. And that's what we're going to be doing today. We are going to be focusing on all the trees that we planted directly into the ground and the grass and getting them ready for winter. So I'm going to be focusing today on the arborvitae hedge that we planted, I think it was late July, early August, and a few of the evergreens and hydrangeas that we got in the ground later on in the season. So today's project should be pretty quick and easy. I'm just going to be focusing on the base of the trees and going in and removing any grass that's growing towards the center of the trunks and just putting a nice layer of compost and mulch around them and just kind of redefining that ring around there. And that I think will help insulate the root ball, and the compost will provide some nutrition throughout the winter. And then come spring, I'll be ready to come in here and fertilize and remulch and compost and get them ready for the growing season. So I'm going to be using Espoma's Land and Sea compost. This is a very nutrient dense compost and I really like it. I've had really good results with it. So I'm going to put a layer of this around the base of each tree, and then on top of that I'm just going to use some pine bark mulch and put a nice layer of that right over top of it. So this whole process is optional. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. But we planted these trees just a few months ago and they were babies when we planted them. They were only like 18 to 24 inches tall. So I want to give them a little extra nutrition and insulation and kind of help them get through the winter season. So I'm going to show you close up on the first tree what I'm going to do, and then I'm just going to barrel on through the rest of them. And then once I'm done, I'll come back around and just kind of walk you through how everything looks. So what I'm going to do first is go around and remove any pieces of grass that are starting to grow back in towards the tree and around the base of it, and just kind of discard all of that. This is also a good opportunity to inspect your tree and make sure that there's no diseases or pests that are affecting or attacking it, and just making sure that its overall health is good. So I just removed like that much. Now I'll come in with some of the Land and Sea compost and put a nice layer all the way around it. What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to bring the compost and the mulch all the way up to the base of the tree. I want to keep this area level with the current soil line because I don't want to add any extra moisture to the trunk of the tree, because that's just going to promote fungus and disease. So I want to keep that with as much air circulation as possible. And because we planted these directly in grass, I'm going to bring the current soil line a little bit further out and just kind of help smother some of this grass for next season. And you can see I'm just taking my finger and just removing any excess compost from the tree trunk. And now we'll just come in with a layer of pine bark mulch is what I'm using. And I'm not worried too much about making a completely perfect circle. I'm just trying to eyeball it and get it as close to even as I can. And this is pretty much what it's going to look like in the end. You can see that I took the ring of compost and mulch out a little bit further all the way around. I just want to kind of help the tree smother a little bit more of the grass, because eventually over the next couple years, as the trees widen and broaden and get fuller, they'll eventually shade out this grass. I just kind of want to help them along right now. So now I just got to do this another 25 times or so. Here we go. All right, guys, we're all done. Let me take you around and show you how it all looks. Here they all are, tucked in for the winter. They've got a fresh layer of compost and mulch. We went all the way down to the end, and I love how they all look now with the ring around the base a lot more defined. And I did a pretty good job getting them as even as I could. Let me walk around over here, and you can see for the most part they're pretty even on both sides, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. And we did the same to the hedge that we planted or started on the back side of the fence, and they all just look really good. I like it. And you can see I didn't take the mulch and the compost all the way up to the trunk. I did leave a little bit of breathing room for them. And I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but this whole project took about an hour and a half to do. And I went through just under 3 bags of compost and mulch. I have about a quarter bag left in each one. And we did 28 trees. So that's not pretty bad. I think I stretched the mulch and the compost pretty far. So all in all, I'm really happy. And again, this whole thing is optional and experimental. I just kind of wanted to give the trees a little extra insulation through the winter, and then I'll just report back to you guys how everything is going. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.